Felice from the halfback pass. What a fake there by McCaffrey. He has an opportunity, he sees it, and then to be able to come in behind it. North Turner, Riverboat Ron with aggressive call.
Maybe next year, Solly. Maybe next year. Peace.
Welcome to Terrific Talk. My name is Tom Anderson. Tom Anderson.
Play to win back the game. Gone. Back, gone. Tom
Anderson.
Great cash, homie. Great cash, homie.
I feel ready to go another 9 innings.
Touchdown.
I feel ready to go another 9 innings.
Touchdown.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Sound going crazy.
Terrific Talk Podcast. Welcome back, Terrific Talk Podcast.
Here comes the host.
I'm your host, Tom Anderson.
First, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
All right, here we go. Let's call Steve up here.
Terrific.
There he is, man.
What's up, dude?
Feeling pretty good.
Aaron and I are heading back east, baby. We're coming home.
Are
Sing
you?
the song. Yeah, we're heading back east for Christmas, and I leave actually tomorrow night, and Aaron leaves on Friday night, and we have a friend here that we've made is going to watch Lucy, so we just met up with him just to make sure he was all good and stuff. So
This is not your friend from the dog park?
No, dude, Vince. Never heard from Vince again.
Ooh, R.I.P. Vince.
I had a shot, dude, but I blew it.
You blew it. Kind of like Solly blew it in fantasy football.
Oh,
Yeah.
what a segue. What happened there, King?
Oh, man. So,
Oh, yeah, give the people the breakdown.
So the King was feeling real good after Thursday night after the Chiefs-Chargers game. He gets all crazy, and he goes, I think he listened to the pod last week, and he's like, I'm going to start Phillip Rivers over the TD Monster. And
it didn't burn him too bad.
It didn't burn him. It should have burned him. But so remember, the Chargers scored a touchdown and the 2-point conversion at the end of that game. Saved him because Mahomes ended up with 20 points. In the end, Rivers ended up with 23 points. So after that move, and he also picked up the Chiefs' backup running back, who's in place of my guy Kareem Hunt, Spencer Hare out. And he went off for 2 touchdowns and 24 points. So Solly, after one night, is up 48 to nothing. Feeling good.
And you didn't have anybody playing, so
I didn't have anybody playing yet. I was like, I can't worry about what's going on with his team. I can only worry about my guys. But I could feel it. He was feeling cocky and just unbelievable out of him. Texting you, asking for fantasy football advice.
Yeah,
how to beat me. Texting my running mate here, how to beat me. I can't believe him.
Spot.
What is he thinking?
I don't know, man.
Not a classy move. So that was definitely a bad sign.
He definitely put me in a weird position. I tried to I was going with what he was giving me. Because I didn't then want there to be any type of collusion allegations put out there. You know what I mean? I tried to be as impartial as possible, and I feel I did that though.
I appreciate that. You got my dogs are freaking out right now. They just
Kobe, what up?
They just heard what Solly did and they're pissed.
They're not happy.
They are not happy. So anyway, Saturday comes and I had the Houston defense playing Saturday against the Jets. Mm-hmm. Not a great performance. They ended up with 5 points. A little disappointing how they did with the Jets. But he goes and he's feeling real good after Thursday. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to keep making crazy moves. He takes Sony Michel out of the starting lineup and inserts Elijah McGuire of the Jets.
His Jets.
And we hung out Saturday, so I was watching the game with him. And he was like, I made a terrible mistake. Oh my God, what am I doing? Then Elijah McGuire gets some garbage touchdown at the end of the game. They push him into the end zone. It's just absolutely terrible. And I'm like, you got to be kidding. Nothing.
What was he saying to you at that point?
Oh, he was feeling real good. He had a big smile on his face. I could tell he was trying to be respectful, but he was like, you can't beat me. he's writing, "You come at the king, you best not miss." He was feeling real good.
Was he buying you shots at that point?
He was not buying. He was not buying shots, but one of his drivers, who maybe is listening to this week's podcast, Umberto, bought us some tequila shots. So that was a good time.
Umberto, good man,
very good man. So thank you to Umberto. So yeah, I was in a lot of trouble at that point. I think I was down. I'd say about 60-5, and we got like the Yahoo predictor.
Looking bleak, man.
They had Solly with an 80% chance of winning. So I'm a little nervous, but again, none of my team has played yet, all right? We're okay. And I made a very interesting pickup before the Sunday games. I picked up Mr. Red Hot Derrick Henry of the Tennessee Titans. Looked at that
I think Solly texted me that he went to try to pick him up and he'd already gotten him.
Yeah, there you go, Solly. That's what happens. Payback for taking my Chiefs running back. So I looked at the forecast in New York here. A lot of rain. Titans, Giants. I'm like, oh boy, there's going to be a lot of running. Derrick Henry's coming off the best game of his career. Let's keep it going. What does he do? 170 yards, 2 touchdowns.
2 TDs.
That really got the mojo going. Back in business. My running backs really picked it up. Then we had Gus Edwards, who solid 100 yards rushing and a touchdown for the Ravens. Jalen Samuels, who
your boy
is my boy of the Steelers, filling in for Connor, who I loved. He didn't have a great week 2 weeks ago against Oakland, but I stuck with him. 142 yards on the ground, 30 receiving yards. Let's go.
Against the Pats.
Russell Wilson shows up. So anyway, I have a huge Sunday. Really good. So I'm up 1 point going into the Sunday night game. He only has Greg Zuerlein, the kicker for the Rams, left. Of course, playing your Eagles. Thanks a lot, by the way, for giving up that many field goals. Appreciate it.
I mean, our defense. I said, we bend but don't break, baby.
Unbelievable. Bend but don't break. He gets 12 points. So going into Monday night, I am down 11 points. But
who do you have still to play in the pipeline?
You know what? That's why we pay to play. We've got Christian McCaffrey.
There we go.
One of the best running backs in the league this season, ready to go. We've been waiting for this all year. Great opportunity. What happens in the first quarter? Well, we're not running the ball. Riverboat Ron is back, baby. You said he was on the hot seat, and he made a bold call.
Yep.
My running back McCaffrey throws a passing touchdown. See ya.
50-yarder.
Good night, Solly. Thanks for coming out. You're done. See you next season.
And that is why Solly's in the consolation final.
Yep, that is why. So it feels great to. I mean, he had a great week, but it just great season. He was the 1 seed, you know.
But talk to the people here for a minute. Give a brief overview of how your season transpired. Where were you after week 5?
Whew. I was in the basement at 1-4. Prospects were not looking good. Really had nobody going, and that's when we went to work. We said on the podcast, we were like, we got to make some changes here. We got to dig deep, and then we went on a hot streak. We got into it. We fought hard against arch rival Tim. Shout out Tim.
But
see ya.
You're in the consolation semis.
Yep. Knocked him out. Got into the playoffs, and then we built a solid team. Like my team's good now. I'm feeling good about it, and that's
a lot of running backs that do. They're dynamic and they're a dual threat. Exactly. Well, try threat when you come to Christian McCaffrey now. Guys throwing darts.
It's so true. It's just incredible. And, that's why I can't believe I'm back in the Super Bowl. This is now the 4th straight year in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, so lay out the matchup. We need a preview here.
All right, so that's the other thing. So literally the second after Christian McCaffrey throws that touchdown, I got a text message from this week's opponent. He was worried. He did not want to play me. You could tell.
The nemesis.
He said,
knows you're rolling.
I guess we're playing each other in the Super Bowl. Literally a second after he throws the touchdown. He was watching closely.
Yeah.
So
he was invested heavily.
Heavily. So this is an interesting matchup here. This is someone who is kind of my protege. I've kind of shown him the way. He is a big fan of this podcast. He listens for fantasy football advice. His name is Jordan Thrillkill. We love Jordan.
I'm a big Jordan fan. Michael Jordan, so he's got a good name.
Exactly.
At least he's got that going for him.
That helps. He's had a very good season himself. He's the 2 seed here.
2 seed.
So we're going up against 2-4 seed. And let me pull up this week's matchup. See, I want to be careful here because I don't want him. He might start texting you because apparently that's what people do now.
That's what they do.
That's what they do. But I don't want to give up too many secrets. I don't want to say who I'm playing. But I'll give you a quick rundown of his team, and you can give your comments. But be careful.
I'll hold my reactions.
Be careful. Okay.
So, I just want to know. I just want to know who where I got to keep my attention focused.
So he's got a couple interesting options at quarterback this week. Mm-hmm. Right now, he's got Baker Mayfield, Trubisky, and the starting quarterback for the dumpster fire Buffalo Bills.
Oh, man.
Really good.
Yeah, really good.
Receivers, Devontae Adams, Demaryius Thomas, Tyler Boyd of the Bengals.
Oh, yeah, he's been playing well.
Playing pretty good. Running backs here, he has Joe Mixon.
Loves the Bengals.
Tyreek Cohen, David Johnson.
David Johnson had a big week last week.
Mr. Connor of the Steelers.
Uh-oh.
Spencer Ware.
What's the update on him?
Don't have one yet.
Uh-oh.
Still too early in the week.
Wow. That could be that's a big decision there out of Pittsburgh that could affect this matchup.
That is very, very true. I'm keeping a very close eye on that one, believe me.
Who's he got tight end?
Tight end, he has Travis Kelce.
Ooh.
Yeah, pretty good player.
Pretty good.
Kicker, he has the Chargers, Badgley.
Yeah, Badgley, new guy.
And defensively, he has the Los Angeles Rams.
Wow. Rams are playing the Cardinals, dude.
Yeah, I would stay away. If I was him, I would not play the Rams. They're on the road. They haven't been playing well lately.
I have to concede that before we spoke last week, Solly called me early in the week, being like, I got Tom. Obviously, we were texting back and forth. He called me when he was heading home from work. I was out on the road doing my thing. And he's like, oh, this is the defense that I have. And I'm like, oh, well, does anyone have Atlanta's defense? He's like, I'm going to check. And he checks. He says, no. I'm like, dude, they're playing the Cardinals. You should pick them up.
Dude.
And I know, dude. That could have been bad.
You almost finished me.
It could have been bad. I did it without even really thinking about it. And then after the fact, I was like, ooh, no, I can't be giving any more advice. I got to stop.
He is such a scumbag. It's just terrible.
Believe that?
What is he doing?
He put me in a vulnerable position.
How does he put you in that spot?
I know.
Oh, that makes me sick. Atlanta had a pick six. They scored like 20 fantasy points.
Yep.
That could have been real bad. Man.
But you endured.
I endured. I took everything he got, and I think it's a little bit of karma for him.
Wait, did he? So he texted me this morning that you guys literally would have tied if Christian McCaffrey didn't throw that touchdown?
Yeah, he's being a little dramatic. I still would have won.
Oh, okay. You still would have won. All right.
I took a look at that. Math was never his strong suit. Come on.
Yeah, but hey, what a weekend of football.
What a weekend. So, yeah, the playoff picture, we got 2 weeks left to go here. All of a sudden, so last week, as our listeners got to hear, very, very dejected Steve.
Yeah.
Turning on Doug Peterson, Joel Embiid, Michael B. Jordan. It was just honestly tough to listen to. It was hard.
I was throwing flames, man. Yeah, I don't know. I was in a rough spot.
You were in a very difficult spot. But now you have hope. The Eagles.
There's hope, man. And I will say, I want to say I still said there was hope. The likelihood was probably nil.
You did.
It was a great Sunday night. I had my cousin out back. She lives out in the suburbs of Philadelphia. She was out. She came out Thursday night and actually leaves tonight. We went to Britannia Pub. I know I plugged Britannia Pub earlier in prior weeks from the pod.
Great spot.
The Nest Out West, as it likes to be called, big time Eagles bar. We had a good spot. We had a good setup. Myself, her, Aaron. We ate some food. We drank. We enjoyed a great victory. I was maybe a little overserved, but that's neither here nor there.
Yes.
And
you celebrated.
I celebrated, because yes, I was dejected, and there was a lot of there was a lot of pent up emotions, and when we got the win, and you know what's funny? Like there was this weird calm that I had come over me, like about an hour before the game started, because we had gotten there at about 3 just to make sure like we had a good spot. Game started at 5:15 here, and so we were there for about an hour, and I just had this sneaky suspicion. I was like, I think the Eagles are going to win tonight, and I went on my phone to look up tickets to maybe even just go to the game last minute, and we could only really find like 2 tickets together, whereas obviously we had 3 of us. So we stayed at Britannia. Now I've been there twice this year, 2 wins, so we're 2-0.
There you go.
I'll be back on the East Coast for this coming week's game, so I won't be able to get back to Britannia. But should we get the win against the Texans in Philly, it'll be a tough one. When I get back, I'm probably going to be going to Britannia on the 30th of December, because gotta keep traditions, right?
100%. So looking at the playoff standings here, we've got Minnesota.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot. Minnesota is hanging on to that 6th seed. They had a nice win over the Dolphins, blew them out. They fired the offensive coordinator. They finally started running the ball. Dude, when they're up 21-0, Kirk Cousins throws a horrible pick 6, lets Miami completely back into that game. They finished him in the second half, but I'm telling you, Kirk Cousins is just
84,
annoying.
$84 million guaranteed, right?
He just is not good. But that tiebreaker is still hanging out there. So they
Looming large,
the
man.
tie.
That tie game.
7, 6, and 1.
I'm a little again, I'm happy with the Eagles. I wish that call with Aaron Rodgers would have come through. I don't know what that team. I feel like they have some pieces, but they almost need to kind of try to they need to rebuild.
They got to do something.
So to speak.
But yeah, Kirk has completely backfired. But they're 7, 6, and 1. You guys are 7 and 7. I think it's basically between you guys. I don't see the Redskins. Redskins are 7 and 7 too, but they're not going anywhere.
Agreed.
Carolina's done. Packers are done too. I'm sorry.
Let's not forget about this. The Panthers, the Seahawks. They're 8 and 6 right now. They play the Chiefs this weekend. They're gonna be 8 and 7.
All right.
And those are the fun. So it's thick, dude. You got the Cowboys.
Is there any way the Cowboys could choke this away?
Yes, they can. They play now. Here's the problem. They play the Bucs this weekend. So either Jameis or Fitzmagic needs to come out dealing. And then, so if the Cowboys were to fall this weekend against Tampa Bay, they would be going into East Rutherford, into Giants Stadium, to play the Giants, final game of the season, win the division, lose, they're done. Is that not the most incredible thing ever?
It's super Cowboysy too, where that kind of situation would happen, where they look like they were clearly going to win this division.
Yep.
I don't know. We'll see. I think they're going to take care of business next week.
Yeah, to lose those 2 games, that would just be monumental collapse.
Yeah.
Like epic proportions.
Yeah.
And the Giants, I would imagine that if the Cowboys lost this weekend and the Giants had the opportunity to put them out of their misery,
the Giants would go for it.
I know Odell's dealing with an injury. He's playing that game.
100%.
Don't you think?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think it happens. So so with us, let's just talk those final 2 playoff spots. Seattle is playing KC this weekend. They could very well be 8 and 7. We play Houston. Everything hinges on the fact that we need to win. But if we win out, and the beauty is Seattle has KC, and the Vikings, they play the Lions this weekend, but they play the Bears the final week of the season.
Yep.
So if we win out and the Vikings lose one of their games, we leap them because we'd be 9 and 7. They would only be able to get to 8, 7, and 1. Seahawks, I think that they play, they, like I said, they play the Chiefs. I think they maybe play the Cardinals. So chances are they're going to be 9 and 7 at the very least. I just don't know the tie breaks with us in Seattle because we didn't have head to head, and then maybe it just goes like conference because it doesn't go because we're not divisional. I'd have to look in to see how that plays out, but I think I saw like percentage breakdown projection, and like the Seahawks are maybe 90% going to make it. The Vikings are maybe 70%, and we're about 30%.
That's fair.
Which is fair. I mean, we have to go. We have to come off a huge win and fly across the country and defend our turf against, arguably the best, or second best defense, third best defense in the league, coming off of a just kind of a modest performance against the Jets. So they're probably going to be looking to get back on track, if you will. Like, obviously they won, but they're gonna want to be rolling come playoff time.
By the way, Steve, if you haven't bought stock in me as a fantasy owner, you might want to get on that. I want to tell everybody about Robinhood. Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos, all commission-free. They strive to make financial services work for everyone, not just the wealthy. I checked the app out. It was extremely easy to use. And they've got all these kinds of charts and market data that you can dig through. And it's all so simple. You can place a trade in just 4 taps on your smartphone. And the Robinhood web platform also lets you view stock collections for sectors like entertainment and social media, curated categories like female CEOs, and they have analyst ratings of buy, hold, sell for every single stock. It's a cool app. You can learn how to invest as you build your portfolio, discover new stocks, and track your favorite companies with a personalized news feed. And today, Robinhood is giving listeners a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. Just sign up at terrific.robinhood.com. That's terrific.robinhood.com, and you get a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint. Go check it out, terrific.robinhood.com. That's terrific.robinhood.com. I'll say the scenario is a lot more fun this week than it was last week. We got a couple more teams at least in the hunt. These games matter.
And the AFC too. I mean, there are teams in the hunt that I just don't think have a shot, like the Dolphins, right?
Yeah,
like
they're done.
They need to win out, and the Patriots need to lose out for them to somehow have a way of getting in. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's just how the seeding breaks out. I mean, the Chargers. I guess you got to buy in now, huh? I know that's a question that you asked last week.
Yeah. No, they
could potentially be the 1 seed. They're going to be the 1 seed or the 5 seed. How funny is that?
It's crazy. Them and the Chiefs in the same division, both 11-3. Crazy.
Best teams in the league.
Yep. And I think the Chargers are even. I would maybe pick them to go a little farther just because they're a little bit more well-rounded than the Chiefs.
Yeah, defense a little bit better.
And I think they're a pretty good road team because they don't really have a home field advantage with the LA fans.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
They play well on the road. I think the Chargers are good. They're tough. I keep thinking they're going to screw this up with Philip Rivers, just what they always do with the Chargers. But that was really impressive going into Kansas City and winning. That was awesome.
And being down.
Yeah.
Being down double digits.
Crazy.
They were down. What were they? They were down 14. They were down 14 with 5 minutes to go.
Without Melvin Gordon and Keenan Allen for a bit.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
So, I think that team, that's, there's games where, if you're a good team, you must win, right? You play, the Chargers play the whoever, pick a garbage team. And then there are those games where, you truly put yourself into the different tier of how good you are when you have a win like they did on Sunday. I don't think I would say up until probably the last 2 weeks, it's always kind of been the Chiefs and Pats. I mean, we even were showing mad love to the Texans, and the Chargers were just there, but now they're firmly.
I think the AFC is wide open
in the talk. And think about this. You have Chiefs, you have Chargers, you have Texans, you have Pats, you have Steelers, you have Ravens. That's kind of what it looks like it will turn out to be at this point. You said last week, look at those Colts, man. I mean, we've been talking about them, but you said that that's a storyline you're going to follow. If these guys can get into the playoffs, they're going to be dangerous.
They're dangerous because they've got some talent on both sides of the ball. They're 5-1, I think, now since their bye week.
Yeah.
Really impressive what they did against Dallas. No one thought they were going to be able to run on that team. And Marlon Mack ran all over them. It wasn't even luck. They were running like crazy all over them all day.
Yeah, he was on my fantasy fantasy squad, playing in the 11th place game. Thankfully, he allowed me to win it with his 140 yards and
Congrats.
2 TDs.
Congrats.
Thanks, man. Not in the toilet, not in the basement of towards the basement, but not on the bottom step. Thankfully,
you're better than that.
Yeah, it's funny actually. Like in the offseason, I made a move to allow myself to get Carson Wentz in the 10th round this year to use him as a keeper for like the next couple of years. I actually drafted Marlon Mack this year in the 13th round. So like
nice.
As much as I love Carson, I think I'm going to have to keep Marlon.
Oh my God, another Philly guy you're turning on right now.
No, I mean, but
wow.
But I'm more just like I'll pick Carson. I'll draft him later. It's just from the strategic standpoint of like Marlon Mack at this point, based off his last 6 weeks of the season, he's probably a projected second round, top 2 round pick in fantasy.
Yeah, he's been solid for a little bit now.
So if as always said, they stay healthy. Andrew Luck, they've got a great offensive line, something that they hadn't had for his first few years in the league, and he was just getting it done because he can ball like crazy. If they end this out 10-6,
it's doable. They're home against the Giants, and then they're away against the Titans. So they'll beat if they want to do this, they have to beat the Titans on the road to finish the season, basically.
But what's going to loom large? That tie from the Steelers.
I know.
It's crazy. I mean, I feel like we said it early, dude. Like we said it early in the season that the tie is going to play a role in the seeding and all that. So you effectively could have two, like, let's say the Eagles obviously starting to find a rhythm, get rolling a little bit. Obviously the Colts have been, high flying the last 6-8 weeks or whatever it's been. They may stave off, or they may be held off because of a tie, let's say by the Steelers, assuming that the Steelers win their division. I mean, the Ravens could leapfrog them, and then, but again, even if that's the case, like it just, oh man, who do the Steelers have left? You know what? The Steelers, this is tough, man. The Steelers have the Saints and the Bengals, but they have the Saints this weekend.
That's a loss.
Yeah, I don't think they're winning that one. I don't think. So at that point, like the best that they're going to do, right, is not. Would you just say 9-6-1? So the Colts could leap them without them winning the division. Like the Ravens have.
I think what's going to happen. This is just a wild guess.
Chargers and Browns. Wow,
tough.
Dude, this is going to be amazing. These last 2 weeks of the season.
I think the Steelers hang on to win the division at 9-6-1.
Yeah.
Or not? Yeah. 9-6-1. And I think the Colts are going to leapfrog the Ravens to get the
Ravens are going to be out.
It's going to be horrible. The Ravens, they moved to Indianapolis. It's horrible.
That would be very fitting. And think about, what else would be great too? The fact that like the Browns would be that last game of the season that probably.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they lose to the Chargers. Let's say, assuming they lose to the Chargers, I don't necessarily see them keeping pace with the Chargers, but it's still kind of up in the air, and the Browns are the ones that put them out of their misery.
It'd be pretty crazy. How about the Browns? Good job.
Yeah, dude, I feel like we talked about them early. I know I had a conversation about the Browns with someone. I feel like we more said like I would have just maybe drafted Saquon and not quarterback, but hey, Baker's been dealing.
Baker's been good. Yeah.
But I felt that they had enough talent there that if they kind of gel, they get to 8-8. They're going to get damn near close. 6-7-1 right now. Yeah, this is going to be must watch TV down the stretch. Like I feel like NFL sometimes. I mean, like I'm all in always, clearly, and I know you are as well. But I feel like first couple weeks of the season, people get excited. They're always doing stuff for games, blah blah blah, and then like you get those like waning weeks in the middle of the season where it's kind of like, oh god, we don't know who or what these teams are. So much inconsistent play, but like now, last two weeks, it's at this point, there's only 2 spots shored up in the AFC, and there's 3 spots shored up in the NFC. So there's still 5 spots up for grabs.
Crazy. It's wide open. And you know what's interesting?
Right?
I never thought I would say this.
7 spots up for grabs. What am I saying? I'm not even doing good math. 7 spots up for grabs.
I think Solly was doing your math there. It's okay. You know what's crazy though? I thought I would never say this. I wish there was a Thursday night game this week.
Dude.
Kind of weird. I never thought I would say that. I hated Thursday night games.
I know.
Now I'm like kind of used to it. I don't know.
Know what else is gonna be weird? There's that last weekend of the season. All the games are on that Sunday, on the 30th. It's gonna be an insane day of football.
Oh, that's interesting.
There's no Saturday. There's no Monday night because it's New Year's Eve. So
right.
All the games are on the 30th.
That's gonna be intense.
Intense.
Hopefully, we're celebrating a Super Bowl victory that weekend.
Yeah. You will. I face. So before what right now is your point projection?
It's still early, but
you and Jordan.
I haven't really gone over my team yet. But there's what we have in, and he hasn't made changes yet. But right now, it's 113 to 106 in favor of yours truly.
Of the good guys.
Good guys.
Man, that's gonna be an intense.
It's a battle.
It's gonna be an intense week, man.
This is like 3 straight intense weeks. Tori's like, if you put any of this energy into something important, you would be killing the world.
Isn't it great? My boy Luce texted me the other day about something running related, and like without even looking anything up, I was like, well, it's closed for renovation. He's talking about Hayward Field, like where University of Oregon is. Well, it's closed for renovation, so that means it's not going to happen this year, but they want to have it open by this time, so they'll probably have the meet by this year. And he's like, you're on the ball. I said, for some reason, I just know so much useless information about running. I wish it was somewhere. I wish it was somewhere else.
It's so funny. It's bad.
God.
It's just completely useless. Like, what am I doing? But it feels so good to just beat Solly and Tim. Like, that's a great 2 weeks.
You're riding high, dude. You just gotta. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
No.
You know, beating them was a mission, but it was all part of for the greater mission of bringing the cup back home. So bringing the trophy home.
Just gave me the chills.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Now
no settling here.
0 settling. We're hungry. We're gonna be making some moves. We'll get the team ready for Saturday.
So again, 2 weeks out, and we've done this now I feel like every week. Give me your 6 AFC. Give me your 6 NFC. I'll say I'm going to throw my boys in there, dude. I'm feeling good.
Oh my God! What a 180! What a 180!
Oh yeah, dude. Let's go.
Stop it. All right. Favorite 6 teams in the AFC. Number 1, I'm going to stick with Kansas City. Just because I think they're going to.
Monster.
They got the TD monster. It's his season.
Let's be real. It's his year.
He's making things happen. Number 2, I am going to say slight edge to the Houston Texans.
Okay.
I like the way they're playing on both sides of the ball. They're finding ways to win. Little less impressive the last couple of weeks, but I still like them. 3, I'll put the Chargers in there. 11-3, they're just killing it. Gotta love the Chargers. They're doing everything right. 4th best team. I think you got to go with old reliable Tom Brady.
Yep.
Everyone's down on the Pats right now. I think they find a way to bounce back. They're right there. They've made a lot of weird mistakes the last couple of weeks. I think they'll right the ship. They'll figure things out. They're well coached. Number 5, I will roll with, I guess, Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a little bit healthier. Defense is playing a little bit better. We'll go with them, number 5. And in the 6th spot, it is neck and neck between the Ravens and Colts. I'll give a slight edge to the Ravens just because I think their defense is a little bit stronger.
Mm-hmm.
They're running the ball well. Like what they're doing in Baltimore. Good home team. The Colts are right there. That would be my AFC. Quickly to the NFC, I would say number 1, Saints. 2, Rams. 3, Bears. 4, Cowboys. 5, Seattle. 6, I guess, Minnesota. I don't know about you guys yet. It's one game with Foles. Let's give it a little more time.
No, I totally agree. I mean, I see your point there. Again, I'm gonna be a homer. I'm gonna do the homer thing, but I'll go Saints, Rams. Well,
are you ready to put the Bears ahead of them?
Ah, man.
Their defense is incredible.
The thing is, the Rams play the Cardinals this weekend, and I don't think that they play anybody good. the final week of the season, so I just can't. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it Saints, Rams, Bears. I think that I think the monumental collapse is gonna happen. I'm gonna say that the Cowboys are just gonna totally implode and shit the bed. And
I hope that's true. I think Zeke's gonna run all over Tampa Bay this weekend. A little nervous about that.
Yeah, I mean he's a beast, so I can understand that. I just I'm gonna give us the 4. I think Seahawks hang on for 5, and because the Cowboys are gonna go to 8-8, the Vikings are gonna go to 8-7-1, and they're gonna beat them for the 6th seed. So I think that's gonna happen. I think that we'll go 9-7. I'm just hoping. I mean, here's my hot take.
That's the hot take.
1, 2, 3, 4. Seahawks, Vikings, Cowboys on the outside looking in. AFC, I'm gonna say Chiefs for sure. Obviously the Chargers then somehow fall to the 5th seed, but they're in there too as the in my opinion, second best team. Dude, I really want to do this. I have to look and see who I gotta look and see real quick who the Texans are playing. You said they played the Colts, or no? They already played the Colts. I forget.
They're not playing the Colts. The Colts have the Giants and Titans left.
Okay, yeah, we said that. And the Texans have obviously the Eagles, and then they have the Jags. You know what? I wanted to go crazy and say that the Colts were gonna catch up to the Texans and win that division. But
that would be crazy.
Playing the Jags, I don't think it's gonna happen. So, I'll go Chiefs. I'll go Texans as I'll go Chiefs, Texans, Pats, Steelers. I think they'll still win the division. Chargers. And I'm gonna say Colts, dude. I know that they're right there, but I think the Colts are gonna close out 10-6. I don't think the Ravens are gonna get to 10-6, and I think Andrew Luck's gonna find his way in the playoffs again. And we remember the first round matchup he had the last time he was in the playoffs. He had Alex Smith and the Chiefs, and the Chiefs were just destroying them. And he went on a tear like a madman and won him that game. So it'll be a good final 2 weeks. We'll get into the seedings and the breakdowns potentially of matchups. Hopefully, I'm not eating crow. Hopefully, the Buccaneers and famous Jameis gets going. We need Jackpot, D-Jack to stretch the field, and hopefully someone can actually hit him with a deep pass. We'll see.
Hey, I had a quick question for you. Did you get? Yeah. I sent this to you in the mail. Did you get the Spencer Dinwiddie jersey yet?
No, I must have gotten lost with that Karis LeVert jersey you ordered yourself.
Nets are playing the Lakers right now, playing tough.
Dude, I just got an alert that big Jared Allen just threw one of LeBron's. I don't know if it was a dunk, layup. He just did a massive block on LeBron. How'd that play out?
So LeBron comes down the middle, takes off like a couple feet out, like one of those 2-3 steps, takes off, tries to one-hand slam it into Jared Allen. Jared Allen just stuffs it.
Says, nah, not in here.
It is an incredible block. You got to go watch it. It's awesome.
Yeah, I will.
He's such a beast. I love it. And D'Angelo Russell, by the way, is playing some good basketball right now.
He always seems to play well against the Sixers, so I'm not surprised. At least someone else is getting... And he's playing L.A., of course. He's going to come out and have to ball out tonight.
It's his former team.
Yeah, it's funny, though, how with this playoff matchup ratcheting up, or, playoffs in general with NFL ratcheting up, it's like I'll still catch the Sixers, and I was watching the other night. We took a beating to the Spurs.
That was amazing.
Yeah, we got smoked, man. Greg Pop, dude, he still got it. And then I was watching the night before. We had a big dub. Well, I mean, we ended up winning by 20 against. I forget. Yeah, I can't even think. I mean, maybe the Cavalier. I forget who.
That's a good
Cavaliers.
Win. That's a great win.
Which, yeah, I mean, we better freaking win against them. But it's just like, man, the attention just quickly shifts, and you're just like total tunnel vision. Now I'm like tunnel vision on the NFL.
Me too. This is like a little downtime for the NBA. It's the end of the NFL. We're kind of focusing on that. But one other thing we need to start focusing on. It's not that far away.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
The Mets GM right now is talking a lot of smack.
Yeah, dude.
They just signed Wilson Ramos. Finally have a decent catcher. He's saying we see ourselves as favorites in the NL East.
What was the story that came out that didn't they sign someone or go in hard on someone just so the Phillies couldn't get him?
Oh, I love that. I hope that's true.
Who was that? Dude, I swear I saw that headline and I meant to send it to you and I forgot. Yeah, I mean, I have a cousin who's who you've met. He's the Marine. He had his Marine garb on at the wedding. He's like a big time baseball statistician guy. We're gonna have to get him on the pod and talk baseball with him here soon because he was adamant that the Phils were gonna lock up Bryce Harper after the winter meetings. Obviously, there's been no movement on that front as of yet, but
I really hope that doesn't happen.
I know you do.
I want him out of this division so badly. Get out. Go away.
Just to renew, so our initial rivalry, the two of us, happened Phillies Mets.
I've missed it, honestly.
I missed it too. We have not been relevant at all.
Neither of us.
At least but you guys had your World Series appearance. We watched that game in a bar in Hoboken. You were dressed up, I think, as Yoenis Cespedes, right?
Correct. My gold chain and everything.
Yep, and your yellow arm sleeves.
Thanks to you.
Yeah, that's where this friendship was born out of hostile, which is now cooled rivalry between the Phils and the Mets. So it would only be fitting that we can get that thing back burning, baby.
We need to go back and take that division. Us two teams. It's not fun with the other guys.
They don't bring anything to the table.
They're boring. That division's really good, though. Everyone's pretty good, except the Marlins.
Braves are, Marlins aren't. But Braves, man, good young team.
Braves are solid. Nationals are always there.
Nationals are, they should be way better than they've been. They've obviously floundered the last 2 years.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
I want to go back to the days where, if I were to go to D.C. and go to a baseball game, people were just marching around the stadium with signs that say Citizens Bank South because no one cares about the Nats. No one cared about the Nats at that point.
No.
In their history. Obviously, they've had their resurgence, but it's time to just get back to normalcy here.
We need to get back to normal. I need to go back to hating you. We need to get it going.
Sully tried, dude. That's what it was. He was trying to pit us against each other.
His behavior is just unbelievable. What are you doing?
Was there money on the line for this?
No,
because we're not college athletes anymore, so we don't have to abide by the don't bet on it policy.
No one. There's supposed to be, but no one in the league ever pays up.
Wow, that's pretty lame.
It's awful. You need to be an enforcer for me.
Yeah.
Come out here and just F them all up because it's ridiculous.
Break some fingers. Another piece of breaking news I actually saw today is DC is going to allow for sports betting. The District of Columbia.
Wow.
That'll be a lot of fun.
It's happening. It's happening everywhere.
Everyone paying taxes on their winnings. Or trying to write off. They're going to try to somehow figure out a way to write off their losses. No, it's not how that works.
That's not quite it. Oh my God! Yeah, it's gonna be ridiculous.
All right, so Christmas plans. The big guy, the jolly guy, is coming around next week. We're a week out. What are your plans?
My plans are Tori. So we go to my parents' house first.
Yep.
Do a little dinner there, and then we go to.
Will you guys will you guys stay in Hoboken, or will you stay at one of the parents' house?
We'll probably stay at the parents' house. On Christmas. I took the day after Christmas off. I got to work Christmas Eve this year, which I'm not thrilled about. Not thrilled about that.
Adulting.
It's horrible. But everyone's going to be at home watching the markets on Christmas Eve. That's a thing.
That's of course. I love it.
So, we're doing Christmas Eve, I think, at her parents' house. Mm-hmm. They do a thing there. Then Christmas Day at my house, basically, and then we'll go back to maybe her uncle's or her house later on Christmas Day.
Sweet.
What about you?
Man, so we're like I said, we're flying in. We're coming back, and it's going to be a whirlwind. Actually, so I'm in Thursday morning. I'll work Thursday, Friday. Erin flies Friday night. She's in Saturday morning. We go immediately to a brunch with her aunts and uncles and her grandmom and mom, dad, brothers, sisters.
Nice.
Then the next day we do my families are both extended families are both pretty big. My mom's one of 6, my dad's one of 5. I've got 20 plus cousins on each side.
Crazy.
Both sets of grandparents are still living. I'm very fortunate. Hashtag blessed. So
it's good for the Instagram, dude.
Yeah. Sunday we go to my one uncle's house on my mom's side for like a little family Christmas party. So that's Saturday. Saturday's Aaron's family for a brunch. Monday's Christmas Eve. We go to Aaron's parents. They throw a banger party. We've been known to stay up till 5 a.m. smoking cigars and drinking beers on the deck.
Nice. Of
their house, which is a fun time. You've partied with the crew, so you know what goes down.
Oh yeah.
Christmas Day, we'll wake up, do presents with Aaron's family in the morning. Then we'll drive down to my sister's house in Westchester, PA. It's actually her birthday. She'll be the good old 3-5. Shout out to Lauren for the B-Day.
Happy birthday.
Upcoming. And, we'll do dinner there. And then because my other sister Megan, she's a nurse and she works nights. She actually works Christmas night down in the city. So we're not going to exchange gifts with like my mom and sisters and like their little kids. We're going to do that on the 26th. We're just going to do like leftovers at my mom's house. So we're like full pack, dude, 5 days straight.
That is Christmas insane. Fun. That's insanity. Yeah. How long are you staying on the East Coast?
So we will fly out of actually Newark on the 29th. We're leaving at like 9 a.m. and that way we get back. We'll get back to the West Coast. We have a direct flight. We get back into LAX by noon. Saturday the 29th, so we can get back to the dog. So it's like, I wanted to like get up to New York, maybe get down to DC, do some things, but dude, game over.
Whirlwind.
See your calendar. It just went X, 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 X.
I hope it is so cold for you when you get here.
Oh my God, dude! I literally checked the weather and what is it going to do when I get in Thursday? It's going to be 40 degrees and raining. I'm like, you got to be effing
welcome
kidding me.
home.
And I'm leaving, and it's going to be 78 degrees in Pasadena on Thursday. Like, shoot me.
Oh my God.
So tomorrow it's going to be 76. Thursday's going to be 78. Friday's going to be 72.
Jesus.
Christmas in SoCal a little different than the Mid-Atlantic.
I was walking to work yesterday, and it was so cold out, my headphones just turned off. They just stopped working.
The battery just died.
That's my life right now.
Ugh.
Just disgusting outside. Dark and cold.
Yeah, dude. SoCal, whenever you want to come out, spare bedroom. We actually just got an inversion table. I don't know if you've heard about those things, but like you strap your legs in and then you just like lay backwards and it just allows you to lay upside down. And it's like good for your back and hips and stuff because you can kind of just like uncompress all the compression that gravity does to you.
That's amazing. I need
so you
one
can
of
jump
those.
on that.
I will definitely. I'm going to take you up on this. I'm just going to show up.
Yeah, dude. Whenever.
I'll take care of Lucy. No problem.
Yep.
I'll bring my dogs too.
Yeah, Lola and Kobe will love it. Plenty. We got a front yard; they can run around, go nuts.
Oh my God, done.
We'll be in close communication in these next few days. Saturday's gonna come quick.
I'm gonna start a group text, and we can give Solly advice for his consolation game.
Yes, dude, we have to do that. Actually,
let him know who to pick up.
And I'll be on your coast come Thursday morning. So I'll be the texting delay will not be bad. It'll be kind of instantaneous. I always like wake up Thursday morning sometimes, and it's just like, Games, what do you like? It's like, oh shit, he sent me that an hour ago, but I've been sleeping for the last 2 hours.
It's 5 a.m. here. What is he doing?
Hey,
so good.
You're on it.
I got you, bro.
Dude, by the way, I'm just like looking at these at the standings right now. And, like, not to beat the Packers when they're already down. They went 0-7 on the road thus far this year.
Whoa, I did not know that.
Yeah, guess what? They share a statistic with one other team in the NFL. The San Francisco 49ers to have never won a game on the road. How bad is that?
Pretty bad. Not the 90s anymore.
Seriously, not the grouping that you want to be in.
God.
Brett Favre and Steve Young are like itching to get back onto the field and right the wrongs that have been done this year.
Terrible. All right, dude. Everybody, thank you for listening. Go
Jordan,
subscribe.
we're coming for you.
Jordan, we are definitely coming for you. We're not giving you any advice, though. All right?
0.
If you get – just block Solly's number at this point. If you get any text from Solly, I'm going to be very upset.
Blocked.
Done. All right. D'Angelo Russell going for 50. We'll keep you updated. Kobe.
Merry Christmas, everyone. TTP.
Merry Christmas.